Okay, so we have designed the test cases. We got a build test environment. Then we executed the test cases. While executing the test cases, you will see some test case failures. Each test case failure, we need to report a defect. So the defects we can report in the defect tracking tools. There are many defect tracking tools are in the market. Jira is the very famous one. Then ALM, so application lifecycle management tool. This is also very powerful tool. And Bugzilla is there, another one. So all these tools, any one of them you can use to report the defect, so that your defect can be tracked by all the team members, by developers and testers, managers, everybody can track it, right? So where you can report, but what is this defect concept? So what is mean by defect? A defect is nothing but an issue in the software, then particular feature doesn't work, then you can report that as a defect. So the customer expectation and application behavior both are not matching, then that is called defect. The difference between the expected result and actual result, both are not same, then you can call that as a defect. So defects are, it can be many types will be there. Functional defects, UI defects, data loss. So these are the different types of defects will be there in the application. Sometimes data won't show. When you create a data won't show. That's a data loss. So sometimes integration issues will come. So one page you created, other page the same data won't show. That's integration issues. And sometimes the functionality doesn't work. Some button doesn't work. Some link doesn't work. That's a functional issues. So all this, so UI issues, some alignment is not good. So that data that is overlapping each other, and consistency is not there. Less spelling mistakes. All this comes under UI issues, basic UI issues. And another one, preparing the traceability matrix, also another important thing. So this is all that defect means. So the defect causes harm. So because it can be dangerous also, right? The defect is there and you cannot use the application, basically. So that's a loss for business. So there are so many ways it is going to create a problem. So that's a different issues will be there. So all these are I have given already. So usability defect that results in a user dissatisfaction, but this will not harm the user. It will make him dissatisfied. Okay, this is not good. Okay, this just you will say you won't feel so good. That's not looking good. You will feel okay. This must have been improved. So a defect that causes slow response time when running reports. For example, you are taking a report, or you are loading some page. It's taking more time to load. Then you will get irritated. See, this so much time it is taking to load the page. Then it's going to be a bigger problem. See, this is a simple example I can. So this will not harm the user unless these reports are used inside a critical place like a hospital operations room. You need a report, but you are taking from computer. Computer is not responding properly. It's very slow. That time it is a problem because you need that report. But generally, if it is taking more time, that's okay. It won't affect you, but it will load slowly. So that's all performance issues, not functional issues. So a defect that causes raw sewage to be dumped into the ocean. So this will harm users because polluting the ocean has a direct harm on human health, right? So this is the big issue. So a regression defect that causes the desktop window to display in green. This will not harm the user, but it might annoy him if he doesn't love the green color, right? So this is the different types of defects. So a defect, for example, simple example, a critical and block bug I'm going to give you. You want to place an order, and you place the order, and you went and payment gateway failed. So it will be lost to you, and it will lost to the customer, the website owner also, right? So your amount deducted, but the product is not ordered. That's a huge loss, right? For both of the people. For that guy, it's okay. For you, again, you have to pay one more time. And when that money will come, you'll know, you'll scare. So that's a bigger problem. It's a very, very big problem. Such kind of bugs are there, and it's going to be a huge issue, right? Even I faced in the many cases in when we are using a phone pay and Google Pay, and it will deduct amount, but it will say in progress, in process, something like. But the payment doesn't reach the the target person. I have faced many times with this Google Pay and phone pay. And again, you have to pay, something. The all server issues, a lot of issues will be there, right? So these are the critical and blocker issues. You cannot buy the product with that if the money isn't the person, but it is deducted from your account. So such kind of issues will be very, very problematic, right? So those are the functional issues. Okay. What is latent defect? So a defect is obviously harmful. So if it is a functional issue, it's very dangerous. So the developer must fix that. But what is latent defect? So latent defect is a one which has been in the system for a long time, but it is discovered now. So a defect which has been there for a long time should have been detected earlier, but found now, is known as a latent defect. So one of the reasons why latent defect exists is because exact set of conditions haven't been met. Maybe the test data is not there. That's why the issue hasn't occurred when you are testing, but it found later releases. Because some ideal condition, and then that time the issue arose. So that is the latent defect means. It is there, but you missed that defect. That is called, but you found now. So it missed 3-4 releases, it missed, and you found in the 5th release. That means it was there a long time, but you found now. That is called latent defect. So latent bug is an existing, uncovered, unidentified bug in the system for a period of time. The bug may have one or more versions of the software, but might be identified after its releases. That is called latent defect. But the problems will not cause damage immediately, but it may affect sometime later. So suppose you take a February as 28 days. The system could have not considered the leap year, which results in the latent defect. Normal February is having 28 days, but the leap year February is going to have 29 days. But we didn't identify that. We didn't, maybe that scenario also we missed that in our test cases. But when the leap year comes, then still you are seeing a February 28 days. That's a bug, right? That's a bug. So you can tell all these bugs. Okay, so that bug, when you will find only leap year comes. If not leap year, the issue won't arise. So that is called latent defect means. So then next, masked defect. So masked defect means hides the other defect, which is not detected at a given point of time. It means there is an existing defect that is not caused for reproducing another defect. So one defect hides another defect. That is called masker defect, masking. So masker defect hides the other defect in the system. So main defect, for example, you just assume that main gate is not open. You cannot go inside. Other gate you cannot open, right? The similar way, masker defect means the main defect is there. If you fix this defect, then only you can find the other defect. But there is a defect. So that's a masker defect. Means this is a simple example I have given. You can tell this example also. So you can same scenario create in your system, create in your application, whatever the project you are keeping, create similar kind of situation. They are not coming and see you, right? You just need to express where you got the bug. That's it. Are you able to frame the bug or not? That's important. Whether you got the bug or not, it doesn't matter in the interview. You can narrate it clearly. So this is how you can narrate. So you go to your application and take any one page. It's like there is a link to add an employee in the system. On clicking this link, you can also add a task for the employee. So let's assume both the functionalities have bugs. Add employee link is not working. First add employee link is not working. Because of this bug, in the add task also not working. Because if you first add employee works, then only you can find out add task issue. That means add employee is masking the add task issue. Add employee bug masking the add task issue. That's a masker defect. Failing to test a subsystem might also cause not testing other parts of it, which might have defects but remain identified in the subsystem, was not tested due to its own defects. Basically, main system has a bug. Due to that, the subsystem bugs you are not able to find out. So that is called masker defect. One defect hides the other defect. So that is called masker defect. And what is defect leakage? So the defects which we are unable to find during our system testing or UAT testing, but it occurs in the production environment. So in your system testing, in your testing environment and the UAT testing, you're not able to find that defect, but the defect found in the production environment, then that is called leakage. So leak happened. So how you can find the defect leakage? They say generally in the exams they will give, so the scenario they will give like this and calculate the defect leakage they will ask. So what is the formula? Number of defects slipped, that means missed from your testing, divided by number of defects received minus number of defects withdrawn, multiply by 100. If you do, you will get a defect leakage. So see that the same formula you apply for this scenario. So they will give like this. In production, the customer raises 21 issues. That means how many issues you missed? How many issues you missed? 21 issues you missed it. During your testing, you found 267 issues. You found 267 issues, but there were 17 are invalid defects. Invalid, why you will get invalid defects? Maybe you misunderstood the requirements. That's not a bug. So wrong test cases. So you written the wrong test cases, and the environment not stable. In such cases you will file bugs. Those will be invalid defects. So those invalid defects we have to reduce from the total defects. So this is the one. So apply this formula for this scenario. 21 issues you missed in your testing, divided by total you raise it 267 minus 17 invalid, multiply by 100. If you do, 84% is the defect leakage. So that's how you can calculate the defect leakage. So what is the defect density? So defect density is the number of defects confirmed in the software or module during a specific period of development divided by the total size of the module, total size of the software. In particular sprint or a particular release, take one release. So a release will be every 2 months or 3 months, one release will be there, or monthly releases will be there. So particular release, how many defects you found in this particular release? What is the total size of the software, your application size? In this 1 month period, how much code they have developed? So that divided by the total number of defects you found in that software divided by size of your software. So that is called defect density. So this is the defect density formula. So defects count divided by size of the release is called defect density. So what is defect is? So the time gap between the date of detection and the date of closure of the defect is termed as a defect is. That means when you find the defect to till the close of the defect, the time gap is called a defect is. So what is showstopper defect? A defect that doesn't permit testing to continue further is called showstopper or blocker bug. What is a showstopper or blocker bug means? A defect that doesn't permit, that doesn't allow to do a testing further. So you cannot continue because of the showstopper bug is there in the application, or blocker bug is there in the application. You cannot continue your testing. So that is called showstopper or blocker bug, we call that. So that's all defect definitions, some of the defect definitions. Who can report the defects? Anybody in the team. So developers, testers, technical support team, end users, business analysts, anybody can report the defects. So there is no rule, only testing team has to report the defects. Testing team might miss the bugs. The other can catch the bugs and you can report the defects, not an issue. So what is the root cause analysis means? So root cause analysis is nothing but a source of defect such that if it is removed, the occurrence of defect type is decreased or removed. So you're doing analysis how to remove the defects, the root cause, why this bug has come, what is the reason for this bug. You're doing some analysis that is called root cause analysis, right? That's called root cause analysis. So it will improve the process and you can prevent the future bugs. That's a root cause analysis. Okay, so that's all about basic defects